You're listening to the Chopped Podcast, episode number 108. Hey everyone. Well, you know what? It's Friday, and that means it's time for another episode of FriChats.
FriChats. Yes. Oh, we did it. In sync.
Yes, in sync. Hi, Kara. How are you doing?
I'm so grateful for that. I'm great, Marley. How are you doing?
I am doing good because it's Friday. I'm talking to you. It's after Thanksgiving. I don't know. What else can we ask for?
Gobble. I know. Did you have a great Thanksgiving?
Yes. Thanksgiving is always an interesting adventure, you know, because we're vegan. So we have to kind of make everything ourselves. But that's okay. We enjoy it.
Well, I'm sure you made some amazing vegan pie, so that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. How about you? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Awesome. Yes, I love eating, so.
I mean,
and I love being grateful, so there you go. It goes hand in hand.
Being grateful and eating, it's like a perfect holiday, right?
It is. It is.
So we are here for FriChats, and FriChats are basically it's a Friday, and so Kara and I chat, and what we love to chat about are the soulful, behind the scenes kinds of I don't know, the battles, the struggles, the fun things that happen behind blogging.
That's right. The things that nobody's talking about your soul.
Yes, because, you know, it's easy to talk about SEO and, you know, traffic and social media strategies, but we're talking about the stuff that goes on that, you know, I don't know, it's just like the day-to-day living, the things that we all battle with, but nobody's really talking about.
We're helping you find the SEO of your DNA. I don't even know what that means.
Did you just make that up? That was really good.
Yeah, I was giggling. Did you hear me giggle while you were talking? I'm like, it just came to my head and it made me laugh.
You couldn't wait to get it out, could you?
Wow.
The SEO of your DNA.
Let's forget I ever said that.
No, it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. It's going to be, I think we should get t-shirts that say that.
No. That's hilarious. Oh,
no, man. We actually do have a topic to talk about today, and it is gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yes. It's so perfect because, you know, this is a week about being grateful.
That's right. And Marley, I'm grateful for you.
Kara, I am grateful for you.
This is so great.
But I want to say before we get started on the wonderful things we're going to talk about with gratitude is, okay, it's easy to be grateful when times are good.
That's true.
But I would say there's more than a few people who believe that 2016 was crappy.
Horrible year. Why so bad?
Yes.
Oof. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Robin Williams, Prince. We could talk about all the celebrities that died.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's your mom, and that was a terrible event, too. And I mean,
just so many deaths of really important people in our lives.
I agree. So I don't know if you watch John Oliver. I
love John Oliver.
Isn't he great?
I saw that, when they were flipping off 2016.
They did this little skit where everybody flipped off 2016, and then they put it in big letters and they blew it up.
That's right. That's what we need to do. Yeah. No, we're talking about gratitude. What am I talking about?
Well, I just wanted to point out that it's easy to be grateful when times are good. I think, but gratitude is about finding opportunities to be grateful when things are not always good.
Yes. Okay, so this just totally popped up into my head right now. So I'm really clumsy. I'm very clumsy. And
that's another thing I love about you, Kara.
It's just not even fun when I'm like in the kitchen, right? And with my clumsiness, I tend to have a temper. Just put it mildly. Like I'll get really angry when I drop things just because it's just very frustrating for me. And the other day I was actually creating a Thanksgiving recipe for the site, and it involved stuffing, and I had taken it out of the oven and it slipped out of my hands and fell to the ground. And my husband was home, and he knows how like angry I can get over that kind of stuff. So he kind of like rushes to my side to help me clean things up. And usually then I'd be like screaming and yelling explicitives. And this time I said, This is what I said. I don't even know who this was. I'm like, well, the floor needed to be mopped anyway, so I guess this is a good thing. It, made me do it sooner.
Ah,
And like, to me, I feel like that's part of gratitude, is finding the good in the bad,
yeah.
finding something positive from something negative, because that opens you up to a totally different mindset.
I love this because actually, Addie, my daughter, took tennis lessons for a while when she was younger. She was on the tennis team and she was taking lessons, and the tennis teacher told me he's from China and had a very, very thick accent and not always easy to understand. But he was giving me things to do on each match, and one thing he said was, always find a way to win. And he wasn't talking about like
Oh my
winning the
gosh.
match. He was saying even when you lose, find some way to win.
That's beautiful.
Isn't
I
it?
mean, from tennis
I
lessons
know.
comes such wisdom. That is, I
So
think, one of the best lessons in life
I
right
know.
there.
So, like, even if you lose the match, what if you served better than you have in the past? Or what if you, didn't get mad or frustrated with yourself? There's all kinds of ways to find ways to win.
That is, to me, everything,
Yeah.
because instead of raising your blood pressure and
Yes.
screaming and hurting your throat from screaming so loud at loss, or the fact that you have stuffing all over your floor,
Yes.
to maintain that composure. And to me, like, I felt the total physical difference in my body with those reactions.
Yeah.
And it was really nice even to get like a congratulations from my husband, like,
I
wow,
bet.
you really kept it together. I was like, heck yeah, I did. That was awesome.
Yeah.
um yeah.
Well, if you think about it, if you're looking for the negative in that situation, that is really a position of fear. It's like expecting perfection of yourself. I mean, nobody's perfect. We're all going to
You're
drop the
right.
stuffing sometimes.
You're right. Yes,
It,
preach.
it happens to everybody. So I think the more we can not be perfectionist and we can just accept ourselves, I think, there's so much to be said for that. And I was going to tell you about another story, and this is involving yoga. And I used to have a very good yoga teacher, and she talked about, when you're in this yoga position and you're feeling your legs are sore, you're feeling tired, your legs are uncomfortable, remember that that feeling is a privilege, that not
Oh,
everybody gets to feel that, because there are people that have had to have their legs amputated, or
wow.
I just found like in other words, there's like a privilege in that, and that like paves the way for a sense of gratitude.
Okay, so that made me feel what I feel about my pregnancy, and that I really appreciate you saying that, because if you've never been pregnant out there, a lot of women become very negative around you about maybe their own negative experiences, or
Oh, I tell you
or
horror stories. Yeah.
yeah, or just say like, you'll mention like, oh man, I'm just really emotional or whatever, and usually a reaction is, well, just wait until your kid's born, now you're just never gonna stop. It's like,
Uh-huh. Thanks
okay,
so
like
much.
that
Just what I
helps
wanted to
me.
hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And or people who will say, because I guess I am one of those annoying women who glows in her pregnancy, but
Yes.
let me tell you, it's not because, oh, it's been so easy for me, or oh, it's just the way, the Lord made me, I just naturally glow when I have a baby growing inside of me. I work every day at this glow. And I mean, there are people who have seriously hard times with it, just like,
Yeah. Right.
just anything. But for me, I have chosen the path of gratitude in my pregnancy. And I have a lot of tailbone pain, and
Oh.
I will have it 10 times the pain, just because I know there's a little human being growing in my body. And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful he's healthy. And I am so grateful I get to experience this. And I don't care about the pain. It's like you make that conscious decision to put it aside. Like you're talking about with the yoga thing. Like, yeah, I got a lot of pain in my legs, but guess what? Some people can't go through this. And so I choose gratitude. And guess what? It's temporary.
Yeah.
It's not going to last forever. So I can sit in this and it's okay.
Oh, even just recognizing it's temporary, like this too shall pass, it's,
yes.
If it's a pain that we're going through, whatever, I love that. Just almost
Remind
embracing
yourself,
it in some ways.
Yeah. Well, would you rather embrace it or would you rather fight it tooth and nail the whole way and just be miserable?
Yeah.
There are things that happen in life we cannot fight. So you just kind of surrender and allow it to happen and take the good from it. Some people, you're the same way, Marley. You are very thoughtful about what happens in your life, and you are very conscious about getting something out of it. And I think that people look at that sometimes and go, you're just too positive. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, Pollyanna.
Yeah, and it's not, because I would rather have this mentality than be that negative Nancy that just hates life or is bitter at feeling like a victim, because I've been there before and it doesn't do anything. It just perpetuates negativity.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we all get there. We all have been there, sometimes negative. I think there are times to let that happen and let it go. But then I do think you have to accept it and move on. You have to, I'm talking in circles here, but
well, you're not. Yeah.
You get what
good.
I'm saying. Like you're talking about your tailbone pain that you're experiencing right now. I'm sure there are times it gets you down, and then you have this moment where you realize, okay, wait a minute, I accept this. I lean into it. It's for a greater good.
I love that expression, lean into it.
Yeah.
Because, so you and I talk a lot about Buddhist teachings, and there is one author in particular who's actually a Catholic priest, or he was a Catholic priest, but he has his name is Anthony DeMillo.
Okay.
And he has deep roots in Eastern philosophy.
Oh, cool.
And he talks about the idea that, the more you resist something, the more you become a slave to it.
Oh, wow.
So, if you're trying to lose weight and you're just resistant to these certain foods, it is not healing you. It's actually making you a slave to it. Wow. So, the thing is to open yourself up to it and to lean into it, I guess, is really where that would come in.
I also want to point out that I believe the words "I want" is a form of resisting. So if you say "I want to lose weight," it's a form of resistance because you are resisting what is.
It's a form of self-denial.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yes.
And a little bit of self-loathing.
Yes, it is self-loathing. I don't think there's any good that being had of that. It has to be about self-love and self-acceptance and
yes.
I don't know, diva-ish almost. Oh, that's not very Zen, is it? Sorry.
Well, and it's not. I think it's just we're programmed to think a certain way.
Yeah.
And to say certain things, and we don't realize that our words have so much power to it, and that's why gratitude is a posture in which it carries a lot of gravity behind it, because you taking that example of just seeing the good from the bad.
Yes.
Might be annoying to some people, but guess what? It's going to get me out of that mindset faster, and it's going to give me a new perspective on things. So,
yes, and let's talk about...
never underestimate that.
Let's talk about why gratitude is so important, because I look at gratitude as the opposite of fear.
Yes.
Gratitude is about... fear may be about resisting things that are happening, and gratitude is about loving and accepting the things that are happening.
And that's great, because how many of us have had a significant other that we were convinced we were going to marry and they were the one, And it didn't work out that way. And it was devastating. And I was like, what is the world coming to? My heart is just broken and shattered in a million pieces. And then X amount of years pass and you meet your soulmate or whatever you want to call it. And you get married and you think, thank God I did not go with that other person. I didn't know what I was thinking whatsoever,
Yes.
you know.
That is a perfect example.
That had something to do with what you were talking about, but again, here comes my pregnancy brain. So, wow.
Well, we were
I got 55 days left. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
Can
you
you
are on
believe
the
that's
countdown. Not that
I
you're
am.
counting, right?
No, I am. But I apologize.
No, I think we were talking about gratitude and why it's
Fear.
important and how it's the opposite of fear and how,
Yes.
I mean, we were talking earlier and I love what you said. I'm going to quote you. You said, gratitude is the gateway emotion to a happy life.
It is. It's like pot and drugs, right? But with the happy emotions.
With good endings, yes.
Right? I mean, what better way to open yourself up to happiness than have a grateful heart and not just being like, thank you for opening the door, or, you know, those are manners. It's the having full gratitude for whatever might come my way.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fodder for my soul. I know it. And so bring it.
Yes, I love that. And that I actually read about there are physical things that happen as a result
I
of
love
having
this.
gratitude, and that
Let's
they
hear it.
studied it, and like it improves your sleep, it improves your blood pressure, it improves, you know, all these. I don't have it open in front of me anymore, so I can't list them off, but there's some physical side effects that are good from being grateful.
And why do you think that is? Like, that's
Well,
interesting to me.
let's think about it. If you're not in gratitude, if you're living in fear, that probably raises your cortisol levels. It makes you more pessimistic and more negative, and those are things that have physical manifestations in us. So
Well, that's very, very true. I never even thought about that.
I know from the physical perspective. Okay, so now here's my favorite part, because you know me, I'm all about the action. I love to think about the things that we can do to be more grateful in our everyday life. So I want to clarify, I have at times kept a gratitude journal. Do you do that?
Love it. When I journal, it's not necessarily specifically for just that, but like if the feeling is right and I just want to start listing off things I'm grateful for, I'll do that. But I love that idea of having it specifically for it.
Yes. I have a little journal that I keep by my bed, and on, you know, I go through these periods. I'm not saying I do it as consistently as my morning paging journals.
Yeah.
But in the evening, what I love to do is I have this journal. I keep it in my bedside table, and I love to write down at least 5 things I'm grateful for. Or sometimes I will write down the names of people that I see throughout the day. So let's say I am at the grocery store and there was a particularly pleasant person who checked me out.
I love it.
I will actually, was the checkout person. Not checked me out, but yeah. Anyway.
I understood what you meant. Yeah. It can be both.
I will look at her name tag and I will think about her name and I will try to remember it so I can write it down on my journal that night.
That's so thoughtful of you.
Well, I'm not saying I do
You
it
are
all the
so
time.
thoughtful.
I wish I would do it more regularly.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I've never even thought of doing that. So that's really nice. I might have to adapt to that one.
Yeah. Like I think people we come to interaction with throughout the day, I think it's wonderful if we can write down their names and say, like tonight, for example, I would write down, I love Kara and that I got to talk with her today.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, don't you think that's just like a cool, I think it just puts that energy out there and it's just so positive.
It is. And like even being grateful for the things that haven't even come yet, I think is very important too.
What could that be?
Well, like since I've got baby on my brain, I do a lot of visualization and it's not specific. Like, so I'm kind of going in thinking I'm going to do it without any meds. Because I've never had a kid before and I don't know what to expect. But when I visualize, it's not specifically to that. It's the feeling that I'm going to have when the baby is out and I have him on my chest and I get to see him for the first time. So So in everything, like not just pregnancy, blogging, for example, instead of being so specific in what I feel grateful for, like I want to make, I'm just throwing this out there, I want to make $10,000 a month next year.
Yeah.
And so instead of doing that, I visualize opening up my bank account and going, awesome, I have all this money I can spend. How cool.
That is cool.
You know what I mean? And that's what I visualize. And then finding that, oh, thank you, God. That's so great. This is so amazing. So there's no specific number, even though that might be my goal.
Yes.
I don't keep that in my visualization and my gratitude for thanking for what's to come.
That's
it's
beautiful.
just, yeah. So it's like, even like losing weight, you know, I want to lose, I'm not saying I do, but I'm just saying I want to lose weight. No, I want to visualize putting on jeans and going, man, my butt looks good in this, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Having something like that.
Jay, my life coach, Jay Pryor,
Yes.
he calls that pre-paving.
Ooh.
I had a situation where something I
love this.
was writing was getting published in a journal, and I was
Amazing.
freaked out about it. You know, like I was imagining all the people who might say, well, she doesn't know what she's talking about, or you know, if there were going to be typos. I just had all these just.
And there's your previous beliefs that we were talking about last week, right?
What's that?
That is self-sabotage, or
Yes.
the stories we
Thank
tell
you.
ourselves.
That's right.
Sorry.
That's exactly
All
right. So
just wanted to pull last week in. Okay.
Jay would have me do exactly what you're talking about. He would have me imagine my article getting published and people telling me that it helped them, or people telling me that they
Oh, that's
liked
great.
it. And what's wrong with that? Why not be on that story? It's like you were saying last week. It's all a story we're telling ourselves.
Right. Absolutely. And love that idea. That gives me such a great visual of pre-paving. I think
Yes.
of Wizard of Oz and the Yellow Brick Road.
Right. Oh, I love that. Like imagining a golden brick road right in front
Yeah,
of
it
us.
kind of is. It kind of is. Brick by brick. But I think that allows you to create your own stories and create your future by having a posture of gratitude and thanking the universe, God, whatever you want to say in advance, paves that way of the kind of future that you really want. A positive one, you know?
Yeah. I love that
Pave
because,
the
okay,
way.
so
I
I
love
was
that.
just talking about journaling and how that is reflective of your current day. And you're taking it to the next level, which is how we can use gratitude to kind of pre-pave our future. I love that.
Yes. Yeah. And the journaling can come, I mean, my husband and I, we will talk about things that we're grateful for to each other, you know, or even just expressing our gratitude for the other to each other
Yeah.
makes me want to be a better wife when I hear that I take good care of him, and vice versa. He loves that too. So being vocal about it, maybe not even just waiting to write something in your journal on the spot, thanking somebody like from the bottom of your heart for helping you out or bringing them something, you know, doing acts of kindness is all a part of getting the gratitude juices flowing.
I love this. And I think just hearing you say that, I mean, it's one thing to write these gratitudes in your journal and to have these things in your mind.
And that's
but
great.
It
It's
is
amazing.
great. It's another thing if you can take it to the next level and show that gratitude to other people, whether it's in your current day or I love what you just said, like writing them a note to say you're grateful for them. How wonderful would that be if you got something in the mail that said, "Hey, I'm really grateful for you in my life," or something like
Yeah,
that.
because like who's going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
thankful for me.
What's
This
her
is
problem?
the dumbest thing. Yeah, no, you can't help but like smile and go, oh my gosh, I feel really good about myself right now. I want to
Yeah.
pass this forward. It's that whole pay it forward movement
Yes.
too.
So, you know, I think it's kind of perfect to be talking about this because we're getting towards the end of the year and people will be sending out their holiday cards and things like that. And there probably have been people that we've worked with throughout the year. So on a professional level, why not make a list and send a card to them and say thanks, for the
Oh.
opportunity to work with them.
Well, You're just giving me ideas here. I like that a lot. Yes, it's a great one. I love it.
I like that too. I just think we've taken gratitude and we have just turned it into like choir singing.
Oh, yes.
We could do that in harmony.
I could.
Okay, so what else can we talk about? Anything else we can talk about on gratitude, or did we cover it?
I think that, acts of kindness, having a posture of gratitude, journaling it, expressing it, and thanking the universe in advance for what's to come, no matter what it is that you want, thanking for the outcome that's going to come. Yes. I think those are really solid ones.
I love it. I think we did it.
I think we did it too. High five.
High five right back at you. So everybody, we hope you're loving FriChats. We really love doing them ourselves. So you liking them is just like a wonderful thing to be grateful for. If you could subscribe, go to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe to the Chopped podcast. That's what this FriChats is all about. So I guess we'll see you next week, huh?
See you next week. Enjoy your weekend of what is it? Plastic waist pants? Wow.
Expandable waistbands.
There you go. Gotta go.
Talk with y'all soon.
All right. Bye.